What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another Warframe video. I'm BouseFeenux, and today we're going to be taking a look at DE's brand new hammer weapon, the Heliocor. Okay, so before we get started on this thing, was anyone else expecting to get Titania today? No? Just me? Okay then, anyways, I hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon. I pretty much spent mine in survivals putting Forma on this thing, and overall, I'm actually not disappointed for once. Let's go ahead and start with the basics. The Heliocor is a new hammer-type weapon that follows the same design aesthetics of other Cephalon weapons like the Simular and the Gamma Core. So if you like the look of those weapons, you're in luck. Now you can roll with a full set of Cephalon gear for that Suda Syndicate cosplay you've been working on. Stat-wise, the Heliocor is actually very impressive. It's got a whopping 25% critical chance and, most importantly, 140 base damage, which is the same base damage of everyone's current favorite heavy weapon, War. This base damage ties Heliocor with War for having one of the highest base damages of a melee weapon in the game. Not bad. Where it falls short, however, is its abysmally slow attack speed, for which the way the thing looks, I have no idea how it could be so heavy. Anyways, you'll also notice that the Heliocor isn't much in the reach department either. You pretty much have to get right up on your targets to hit them. One really cool thing about this weapon though, and something that totally sold me on it, was its innate ability to scan killed enemies. This is the first weird little mechanic on a weapon that I've actually found to be very useful. I scan enemies all the time so I can test weapons against them for you guys, and this is something that makes that task just a little more passive in case I forget my Helios or something. The mod setup I'm using here was a little costly for a melee weapon, and to fit the build you see here, I had to invest 3 Forma, as the Heliocor doesn't actually come with any polarities. Taking a look at the build in a little more detail, we see that I'm using Crushing Ruin, which is fantastic as the weapon already comes polarized with a Y polarity in the stance slot, so this stance fits in nicely. The rest of this build is fairly simple. We're using a common crit melee setup with Blood Rush and Body Count, Berserker, and I've also included Organ Shatter for a little extra crit damage. I left out True Steel because I felt that with a high enough combo counter, it kinda just becomes redundant. Additionally, I've got Prime Pressure Point for damage increase across the board, and 3 90% elemental mods that can be any elements that you want. I highly recommend not using the 60% dual stat mods though. This weapon scales poorly with status chance, and that being said, you don't have to use this build at all. I'm just providing an example for you that I've tested out and that works quite well. For the last part of this video, I wanted to put the Heliocor through its paces in the Simulacrum. For that, we're going to test it against some level 100 corrupted enemies. I use these guys because they more or less represent the various factions in the game, and they're kind of a powered up version of their non-corrupted counterparts. This weapon performs about like you'd expect it to though. As you can see, we're having a pretty tough time getting through those heavily armored enemies. That's mainly because this weapon features primarily impact damage, which is pretty terrible against armor, generally speaking. Thankfully, we have our high critical chance and elements to help pick up the slack. As for my final thoughts on this weapon, I'd say it's pretty much a win. Although, aside from the scanning passive this weapon has, I don't really see much of a reason to be using this over War or any other of the hammer weapons that have been released lately. It's got shorter range and slow attack speed, and I haven't really checked yet, but I'm pretty sure the crafting requirements are out of this world. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. I'd like to see how you guys feel about the Heliocor. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do me a favor and hit that like button down below. It helps out a ton. Additionally, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. I keep track of all the people that don't subscribe to me, and I'll remember you when we build our island nation, Boustopia. Until next time, though, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.